Hi everyone, it's Daniel here. Today I will be reviewing another Genesis album. So here it is, Abacab from 1981. What an album, I love this album. First time I heard it, loved it. When I got the album on CD, loved it even more. And so very iconic album. One of the better 80s Genesis albums. They did three, because Duke was recorded in 1979, late 1979 as a matter of fact. But yeah, I love this album. Here's the front. A lot of people have criticised the artwork, saying it's, weird, but I actually really like it. You know, it's simple, the text is nice. I like the colours. It's actually, like, on vinyl, like, they released this in different colours, like different colour patterns, which was a very brave thing to do. Not many bands do that with their album covers, you know, which makes me want to collect the other colours. But yeah, I think on CD it's just this colour pattern, so yeah, very nice, I like it. I was very excited to listen to this album just by looking at this cover, because I was like, what sort of music are they going to make this time? But yeah, it's like a mix of, well, progressive rock, new wave, I think that's about it really. Progressive rock, new wave, art rock, I guess. I wouldn't call this pop, like, yeah. This album actually gets quite a bit of hate, and I don't get it. Like, this is actually one of my favourite Genesis albums, and it might be my favourite. I'm not 100% sure yet, but it's definitely better than the self-titled album and Invisible Touch, because self-titled, well, that's a great album. You've got tracks like Mama, That's All, Home by the Sea, both parts, both Home by the Sea, Silver Rainbow, all that. But then you've got one song which ruins it, but I'll talk about that another day. And it's better than Invisible Touch because, well, Invisible Touch, you've got the title track, which I probably don't need to hear again. And then you've got the incredible Domino, and then you've got the Brazilian, the weird instrumental at the end, but it's weird but brilliant. But yeah, great album. So here's the front, here's the spine, Genesis Abacab, and here's the back. So not much, just simple. Yeah, you've got a red line here, and then you've got a bit of yellow up there. Very cool. So on vinyl, that side one and that side two, so makes sense. So we start off with the title track, Abacab. Brilliant track, brilliant opener. You know, it starts off with, like, yeah, it literally just starts off like, the album literally starts with a bang with, you know, Abacab, you know, with the drums, you know, literally crash, and then you get the bass pedals, do, and then you get a wicked guitar riff, and then you get some really heavy keyboards and from Tony Banks, and then, yeah, I love that song. I prefer the album version. I'm not keen on the single version because it just repeats the intro, and it just seems a bit odd to just do that. But on the album version, like, you get the instrumental break at the end, and then you get like that really cool haunting outro with the synth pads and all that. It's flipping cool. I love Abacab, one of my favourite Genesis songs of all time, and definitely proves that, yes, Phil Collins was just as good as Peter Gabriel. Next track we have is a controversial one, No Reply at All. Does it sound like solo Phil Collins? A bit. You know, you've got the Phoenix horns on there. They were from Earth, Wind and Fire. They played on the first 4 Phil Collins solo albums. I think they do a great job in this song. I really like this song. You get that hand technique that Tony Banks does with the piano on Lamb Lies Down on Broadway. He does that on the Prophet 5 this time round. And yeah, the bass line's absolutely amazing. Love the drums and the percussion. The bridge section's fantastic, and yeah, just a really great song. I love it. Is it one of my favourite Genesis songs? Wow, it's an underrated one, and yeah, even though it does sound a bit like solo Phil Collins. I said this about Paperlate from the 3x3 EP, which contains 3 tracks which weren't on this album, and then you've got Nami Namu and Submarine, which were B-sides, and then you've got the unknown track, which I don't know. So yeah, only 9 tracks made it onto this album. Oh, I know what the other track is now. I will get to that in a minute. I know, I'm silly, aren't I? So it's basically 10 tracks on this album, but one of them's 2 songs in one. So, I know, silly me. I've just noticed that. Next track we have is probably my favourite song on the album. I'm not sure, but it's definitely my favourite on-side one. Me and Sarah Jane. Starts off with the Roland CR78, and then you get some more synth pads from Tony Banks, and then you get Phil's haunting vocals, and then yeah, it's quite an interesting song. You get a bit of reggae in the middle as well, which is pretty interesting, and yeah, it's a mix of new wave reggae and rock. Yeah, I really like that. So very interesting. It's a Tony Banks song as well. I love Tony Banks, and this song contains one of his best synth solos of all time, or one of the best keyboard solos of all time. Absolutely amazing. It's an 80s synth brass sound, but it's absolutely amazing. I love it. Just a great song. You get a bit of reggae in there. You've got some nice key changes. You got some beautiful keyboards throughout. You got some nice guitar. You got a nice bass line. And yeah, the drum machine fits really well with the, it's only at the start and the end of the song, but you've got a nice percussion groove during the reggae section, and then you've got a nice solid drum beat from Phil. It's a fantastic song. The lyrics are fantastic, and I just think it's an amazing song. Next track we have is Keep It Dark. I know some people like it, some people dislike it. I'm one of those people that likes it. You've got the repetitive guitar riff. What's it? But it's a very interesting song. I love it. You've got more synths from Tony Banks. You've got bass pedals, percussion. You got the Three Wise Monkeys on the single cover, which I actually have the single. It's over there. But yeah, and they do that in the video as well. This. They do that in the video, and yeah, it's quite an interesting music video as well. Apparently the song is classed as an industrial song. I don't know what genre that is, but yeah, it's a strange song, but I absolutely love it. Just that iconic guitar riff, goes from G to A, and then A to B, and then B to C. So I think the song's in the key of G major. I'm not 100% sure, but most likely. So that's side one. All the songs fantastic. I've given you a fact about each one, to be fair, But yeah, Abacab's great. It's actually based on it's based on the sequence of the song, section A, section B, section A, section C, section A, section B, verse, chorus, bridge, verse, chorus, which they didn't end up doing, but it's such a clever idea. I love that. And No Reply at All, amazing, love it. It was nice of Tony and Mike to allow the Phoenix horns to come in and record on that song. Well, play on that song. Me and Sarah Jane's absolutely fantastic. It's a 6-minute track. It's not as long as the earlier progressive songs, but I still really enjoy that song. And then Keep It Dark's amazing, love that song. What a masterpiece that song is. So we get on to side 2, and it starts off with Dodo / Lurker, yes. Well, Dodo, which is the first song, and then Lurker is the second song. So it's basically 10 songs on this album, but Dodo goes into Lurker. Amazing synth intro, some, the bridge section sounds like a complete nightmare. I love the lyrics, I love the chorus, quite funky, to be fair. You've got an amazing synth played by Tony Banks. You've got quite an interesting bass line during the chorus. And just brilliant throughout. You've got some funky guitars, heavy guitars throughout, and it's just wonderful. Even Lurker's like one of the best Tony Banks synth solos, in my opinion. And all that, yeah. Listen to it for yourself. It's probably my favourite Genesis song. I absolutely adore that song. I don't know if it's about animal extinction or I don't really know, but yeah. So I completely forgot this was like 2 songs. I know. And then, well, of course, you got 3x3, which has 3 songs. And then, actually, this was actually supposed to be 4 songs, but they cut the other 2 out. Nami Nami, which is a B-side to Keep It Dark. And then you got Dodo, which, of course, brilliant song. And then you got Lurker, another brilliant song. And then Submarine, which basically closes the riddle. That was a B-side to Man on the Corner, which we'll talk about that song in a minute. The next track, ooh, very controversial track, Who Done It? Do I like it or dislike it? I like it. It's silly, not the best Genesis song ever, I wouldn't say. Yeah, it's probably not my favourite on the album. It's probably like, yeah, one of the songs that's a bit lower. on my, you know, yeah, on my, like, my favourite songs, but it's funny, yeah. You know, it's simple. Was it you or was it me or was it he or she? I quite like the lyrics. The way they did it live was absolutely hilarious, and yeah, there's no guitar in the song, but I think you've got a bit of bass, some bass pedals, some weird keyboard sounds, which that's how they wrote the song. Tony Banks was just messing around with his Prophet synthesizer, and yeah, they just came up with that song. And then you've got gated reverb on the drums. This was the first Genesis song to have gated reverb, I believe. Yeah, I actually quite like that song. It's only 3.5 minutes, so it's not. Yeah, it doesn't go on for too long. Trust me. We know. Yeah, absolutely hilarious song. I love it, and it's quite catchy. And you know, I like the drums at the end. It ends off with a kick, which is quite unusual, but yeah, I quite like that song. Man in the Corner, absolutely beautiful song. I love it. I love the synths. I love the Roland TR-808. I don't mind the drum machines. Like, some people say, like, oh, Phil Collins is a drummer. Why are they playing drum machines when they've already got a drummer? Well, just experimenting, I guess. You get some, well, yeah, great gated reverb drum beat at the end, you know, just kicking the snare, no cymbals, or, yeah, you got some toms, but no cymbals, hi-hats, which that was the whole point of gated reverb drums. And yeah, just an amazing song. Phil wrote the song on his own, and definitely reminds you of, it's basically the big brother of Another Day in Paradise, but they're not the same songs, they're just, yeah, quite similar. Topic homelessness, and yeah, that's fair enough. I really like that song. And then we go into Like It or Not, which is an absolutely fantastic song. I love that song. Definitely the most like yeah, heartbreaking song on the album. I love this song, written by Mike Rutherford on his own. I could see Mark and the Mechanics doing this song. It's a shame they never did these songs live, because I think in one country they got booed at every time they did an Abacab song. But yeah, this album's really underrated, and like, yeah, they should have done these songs live a lot more. Like or Not, absolutely great song. I love the synth use. It kind of reminds me a bit of Lone Tonight from Duke, but I'll dare say this is a better song. The guitar's great, the bass line's pretty cool. It's just an amazing song. I love the, you know, the chirpy synth throughout, and Phil's vocals are absolutely amazing. Gotta love Phil's vocals, like, yeah. And then you have one more track on the album, which is Another Record, which closes off the album. So, when I first heard the song, I was like, oh, another ballad. No, I was wrong. So it starts off quiet, just the piano, the guitar, and the synth pad. But the drums kick in, and then like the piano comes back in, doo, doo, and then you get do 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 do. You get more gated reverb drums, and then like all the instruments kick in, and then you get this synth harmonica, and you get Phil singing, "It's funny, you know, there's an old," yeah, all that, yeah. Yeah, I've sung, but like, yeah, that's just me giving an example. Yeah, I think Another Record, it's a very unappreciated track. Like, a lot of people don't like that song, and I don't know why. Well, fair enough, it's a bit rock and roll for Genesis, like proper rock and roll, but I like it. You get a weird like sound in it in the song, which is like sounds like a bull getting angry or something, but I quite like that. It fits the song. I like the harmonies, I like the "cause you know you like it" bit at the end. That's quite funny, yeah. Yeah, this album, it's a bit goofy at times, but I quite like that, you know. Yeah, Peter was really silly, and yeah, Genesis were allowed to be silly. So yeah, Another Record, very solid track. I really like that one, and yeah, I love the whole album. This was the first album to be recorded at the farm in Surrey. I believe they didn't write the songs in the studio because it wasn't fully built yet, but it wasn't completed yet, so they just like brought the songs in. Therefore, like 3 of the songs were written by each individual members. You know, Me and Sarah Jane by Banks, Man in the Corner by Collins, and Like It or Not by Rutherford. So cool. I've been talking about this album quite a lot. Standing Light by Level 42 was the same, because I love that album. I love this album too. Yeah, this album has its fans and haters, but yeah. Yeah, there's the disc. Very cool. And then you've got a picture of Mike, Phil and Tony. This was like, this album, they pretty much had to come with new ideas because they were kind of getting tired of doing their usual like progressive rock, so they kind of wanted to fit in with the 80s. And yeah, Who Done It's apparently supposed to be a punk song. Didn't really work as a punk song, but anyway. In here you actually get like the different colour patterns of the front cover, which is pretty cool. And you get lyrics, very nice. Abacab, no reply at all, me and Sarah Jane. That's a great song. Like, honestly, like, if you've not heard that song, like, keep it dark, do, do, do. And then you have Dodo and Lurker, Who Done It, which is quite a short song. Man on the Corner, Like It or Not, and another record, which, yeah, great album closer. Yes, not as good as, say, Supper's Ready, but, like, not as exciting, but I think it's quite, yeah, it's simple, and yeah. I would definitely recommend this album to anyone who hasn't listened to Genesis. This album was produced by the band. The band were in their 30s at this point, so it's the first album to be recorded whilst the band were in their 30s. And yeah, the horns were arranged by TomTom84, which, yeah, he's done the horn arrangements for Phil Collins solo. Engineered by Hugh Padgham. I believe this was his first album, because previously, well, he wasn't producing yet, but we had David Henschel producing the last couple of albums, so yeah, that's cool. I don't know what those numbers mean at the bottom, but yeah. Thank you for watching, everyone. Please do let me know what you think of Abacab. Do you like this album? Do you not like it as much? Do you not care for this album? I know quite a few people gave up with Genesis after Steve and Peter left, but this is a really good album. I highly recommend it if you love like 80s music, like new wave, maybe punk, but Who Done It? I don't even know what to call that song. Just a mess around song, to be fair, but yeah. You get great songs, you know, Abacab's fantastic, me and Sarah Jane, Keep It Dark, Dodo / Lurker, and Like It or Not, they're all great songs. And even the other songs like No Reply at All, Who Done It, I guess, Man at the Corner, and another record. I love Who Done It, the band love Who Done It. So, yeah. Thanks once again. This has been my review of Abacab, and I shall see you all next time. Take it easy, and peace. Oh, and by the way, it's my birthday today, so yeah, that's why I'm reviewing this album, because I'm in such a good mood. I'm 20 now. I know I'm old, but yeah. I can't believe I'm 20, 2 decades old. That is crazy. But yeah, please wish me a happy birthday in the comments if you'd like to, or on the community page. Just do whatever you think is best. Anyways, I shall see you all next time. Bye.